So we'll be looking at how to use this contest system, which is a system which is meant to be used during school contests. So the main use of this contest is just to help you just register the school's participants, and then you'll be able to submit the marks, just to aid in making the process of submitting the marks and getting the results to be quick. So start with this home page, and here you can just there is the search option. So in case maybe you want to find contests that have already been registered, either you want to participate and you want to find which contests have been registered under this system, then you can use these options. So you can use the filters, either if you know the contest name, or you can filter by county. So it will be able to show you the contests that are registered based on the counties, and then you can also select the dates which the contest will be held. But also, if you want to see all the contests, you just click on this search contest, and then you'll be able to see in a map all the contests that are already, either they are not yet or they are just upcoming, or the ones that have already been hosted and the results are available. So you'll just be able to see all those. So this is just a sample or the test data that I already have. So for instance, if I want to see the upcoming, I'll be able to see this. So if, for example, I want to join my school, say to this sample contest, I will just click on view details or register. So here there is you can see the details, and then see the location where the contests will be held. Then if I want to add my school or just submit a request to register my school, then I'll click on register your school. So here I can enter the school name, the category, either can be national, extra county, sub county, or maybe private. Then I can select my county, then my address, then the contact person details, email, and the phone. Then I submit the registration. So once I submit this data, then the contest manager of the host school will be able to see the details, and they will just approve that. So what will be required only to submit is the participants. So once the contest manager logs in, they will see the schools that have already submitted their request to be joined to the contest. Then now they will be able to add the participants. So going back to the home page, so you'll see these 3 buttons. So the first one is host your contest. So this is where maybe you want to register your contest as the host. So this is the link that you use. So if we go this link, get started. So here you just be able to see the contest application form. So the first detail that you can enter is the contest title. So this is the title of your contest. Then you can give a description, either a short description of either your contest. Then the contest type, you can see there's options, either what will be the test area. Is it a science contest, humanities contest, mathematics contest, all that. Then you choose the ranking categories that will be used during the ranking, or when you want to get the results. Then you'll be able to select how the schools will be ranked. Either they can choose national, extra, county. This is just the more of the type of your school. So if you select, for example, the 3, so the schools will be ranked based on the 3 options. But if you select all the 5 options, then all the schools will be ranked based on that. Then the next thing you select is the contest subjects, like what would be the subjects for this contest. So once you select, for example, if it's agriculture, then you'll be able to select the form levels, like which classes will be participating in this contest. So you can either choose either say your contest will entail or will contain classes or student or participant to be from form 2, form 3 or form 4. So you just choose that based on what your contest will be testing and the classes. So you choose the subject and then the classes that will participate in this contest. So you can also choose more than one subject, so it's not limited to one. So even if you choose this, then you select either these two. You can also choose business studies, for example, and then you'll be able to select the form levels. So the same with if you choose biology, so you can even choose more than or multiple subjects. Say if your contest is testing more than one subject. Then the next thing is the event date, like the dates when the contest will take place. Then just the estimated number of participants. So like what will be the estimation of the number of participants that are going to participate. Then you can talk about the school logo or the contest logo. Say if you are the host, then you can select your own logo that will appear in the results pages. Then if you want, you can also upload the exam document, so that is optional. So the host information is just the host name. Like if you are the host, then you input your name or the name of your school, then your email address, and then the phone number. So this phone number is where either the details, the login details will be sent, or will be the contact details in case people want to contact you. Then the venue location, like where the contest will be held. Then you put the address. Then the next thing, now you can either choose a map where the exact location. So you can either move this marker to your location, then you submit, or you can just use this search option here. So once you search here, then you enter, then it will give you the exact location. For instance, if I enter this and then enter, to just select, give me a list of possible locations, then I'll just be able to select that one, and then you see the marker move to the exact location. Then I submit. So the next part is now the contest manager. So once you've submitted your contest hosting information and it has been approved, then you get the login details to your email or the phone number that you registered with. So here you just click on login, and then now here what you enter, you just have to go to your email and then check the details that have been sent there. So you get the contest ID and then the password. So for example, for instance, just see the sample. So once you open this, you'll be able to see the contest ID and then the password. So these are the details that you use, and then here you get like your login will expire on a certain date based from the time you register. So you just take or copy the two details, then you go back to your login page, and then you enter the contest ID as 20, and then the password I'll just paste it here, then I click on login. So on login here, now you'll be redirected to the dashboard. So here you'll see different options. So number one, you'll be able to see the total number of schools that have been registered to this contest. then the total participants, so just the number of starts, then the total number of sets that have been created, then you see the number of marks that have been submitted. So the number of marks submitted is just equal to the number of participants, because each participant you have to submit marks for each participant. So step 1 now, because you're starting the process now of registering the schools, then you have to add the participants, then you create sets and then allocate those students to the sets. Then you set the grading levels, like which grading will be used to rank the students, and then you publish the results. So only just these 6 steps. So you have to start from the first step, you go to the second step. So the first step is registering the schools. So this means like you are adding the schools which will be participating in the contest. So this is the link that you use to register the schools. So number 2, you have to upload the participants. So for each school you have to add respective participants. Then the next link is where now you create the sets. So for this system, you see the sets are created automatically, and then you can use Auto-allocation to allocate the students automatically to those sets that have been created. Then the third, the fifth is where now you set the grading levels. So then the last one is publish results. So step 1 is just registering the schools. So once you click on this, we redirect to this page. So here, if you already have existing school that you've registered already, then this is where you select this option. So once you select this option, then for instance, let's say that there were schools that searched for your contest on their page, and then they send their requests. So the requests will appear on this side. So if there are any schools that send their request to be joined to the contest, then you see their details here. So you'll be able to approve or maybe just decline the requests. So if you approve the request, then if you come to this part of use existing schools, then you will see the name of the schools will appear here. So meaning these are the schools that you've already added to the contest, but now you are not manually adding their details. They already sent their request, so you approved, so their details will be saved to the system or database. So let's say now we are just adding a new school, like we don't have any requests. So here we just come to, okay, you can just try maybe the part for sending requests by schools. So maybe we just go to the home page, and then we search for contests. Let's say this contest is the sample contest here. So I go to view details. So view details. So then, because I want to register my school to this contest, then I click on register your school for this contest. So I put my school name, sample high school. Then I select my category. I say this is a national school. Then I say my county is for instance, say Oma Bay, and then the address I just can put any. Then the contact person, then I say, for instance, is John Do, and then the email. They say maybe let me just use my email. Then I submit the registration. So you'll see this the information like your school registration request has been submitted successfully. The contest host will review your request and contact you in the with the next steps. So if I go back to the contest manager for this contest, so let's say I'm logging into the contest for which now the request has been sent for. So here I'll just see like the total schools are these. So you see they have already sent their request. So if I want to join this school to this contest, then I'll just approve. If I don't want, then I'll just decline using this icon. So let's say I want to approve, so I'll just click on approve. So let's say I click on approve. So you see this school will be approved. So it says school status updated successfully. So if I go back to my dashboard and try to check here, you see there are no pending requests because I've already approved that, and now I already have the total number of schools as 1. So then I can now choose either, let's say I didn't have any requests, so I can send now I can register a new school manually. So if I want, for instance, to use the existing school, so you see that school will appear here. Then now, once I select the existing school, I'll go to the next step, which is adding students. But now, say if I've not added any school and I want to add a new school, so here I will add a new school, say sample high school 2. Select the category as, say, extra county, then the county, choose any, then address, can give just a random, the contact person, let's say maybe then the contact email, of course you can just use any email. So the contact phone, so let's say maybe use that. So I go once I enter all the information, then I will click on add students. So it will just show you like that notification, the school has been registered successfully. So meaning my school has been added. Now the next step will be adding the students. So here, so in this page, now this is where I add the students' names and gender, and then the subjects, and then the class. So for instance, now I will see the information. The constants has the following subjects and form levels. So for instance, you can see biology has an ID of number 6, and then the classes that are allowed to participate in this are students from Form 3 and Form 4. The same with chemistry. The ID given is 7, and then students from Form 3 and Form 4 are allowed to participate. So when I add the students, then they have to be specifically from the classes on this information, on these notes. So here, when adding the students, I can use a manual option, or I can choose the upload option. So the manual option is where now you add the student details manually. You just enter like first name, last name, gender, and talk about this. You select the subject, then select the class. So for this one, you can just add another field. If you have several or multiple or many students, so you can just be adding that one by one. So for instance, I can choose to register, let's say, sample student 1. So the gender is say male, and then the subject is that, and then I can select a class as Form 3. So I can add another student. So this will be the student for a given school. So this is just the student for the school that we already registered recently. So but now, because we want to do this in steps, we can just choose to use the this flow. So here first we'll just register the schools. Then once we register all the schools, then we go to the next step, which is adding the participants. So if you want to use a manual option of entering the students details manually, then you have to come here and select the school. Then you go to the next step, which is add students. So for instance, if I want to add student for this second school, I'll just select that, use this option, use existing, then I select that school, and then go to next step. So here it will tell you using existing school registration. Then now I'll add my students here. But now if I want to use the upload option, which is the easier or the simple the most simple way of adding the students, because you just can add a number of students, then just only upload them using just a single upload option. So once I add the schools using this step, first step, then the next step I'll upload participants. So here, when uploading the participants, I will just select the schools from the list. So for example, it's just school 1. Then I select my CSV. CSV is just an Excel file. But now if you don't have it, so you just download the template here. So you use this template to enter the details of the students. But now what you keep in mind is this subject IDs. So you have to look for this information on this page. So here you'll see like biology is represented by subject ID 6. So this when you're entering the student details, you have to specify the subject ID. You just see in the fields, like in this sample, you can see like there is the first name, last name, and then gender, form level, and then the subject IDs. And then there is an example here like John Doe. This is male. Then the form level is, say for example, it's form 1, and then the subject ID is 13. So the subject ID, you have to specifically use these ones provided on this page. So you can also see the guide here. So you'll be able to see for a single student, you just have to enter just a single subject ID. So for instance, if you have students who are taking multiple subjects in this content, then you just use this format. But now let's assume now we are just using just a single student taking just a single exam. So we only be entering just one single subject ID. So here I'll just use my CSV template. So I'll just download it. Then I will open it. So you see it's just in an Excel format. So here I'll just be entering my my student name. So just all the school student names. Then I enter the form levels, like if it's either form 1, form 2, form 3. So for instance, when we were just registering the contest, we saw like the students participating in this contest have to be from form 3 and form 4. So this is what I'll just be inputting in this case. So let's say my first student, I say is a sample student. So this is my first student. So they say the gender is male. So the form, because I specified the form or the classes as from student from form 3 and 4, so I'll just be entering names of students from form 3 and 4. So here I'll just enter 4. to mean form 4, so no need to enter form 4 in full, so you just enter the number. Then the subject ID, now this is where I have to use this. So from this information you can see like 6 is for biology and 7 is for chemistry. So let me say let's say this student is supposed to take is in form 4 and the subject they are taking in this contest is biology. So here I'll just enter 6. So here I can just choose either to add all the students from the two subjects. So for instance, I'm just starting with biology with subject ID 6. So let me say I have 10 students for who are going to take biology. So let me say 6. So here I have 10 students who are going to take, let's say the 10 students are supposed to take biology from my school. So I will enter their data here. So this is just for biology because the subject ID 6 is for biology. So here I have 6 students from my school in form 4 who are taking biology, and then I have 4 students from my school who are taking biology. So this is from 3 students taking this biology, because I said here in my when creating the host, I mean the contest, I specified that we can have from 3 and from 4s participating in this contest. So I can go ahead and add extra students from here. Let me say now I've added this. These are my total participants for the students, the number of students who will be taking biology from my school. So I can also add students who will be taking chemistry here in this same Excel file. So here I can just start either add so this is my other student, let's say this is from form 4 and they are taking chemistry. So here let's say I've added all my students both for chemistry and in biology. So let's say I have 20 students, so both from the two subjects taking biology and chemistry. So let's say in biology I have 10 students, 6 of them from form 4, and then there are 4 of them who are in form 3, and then I have 6 again from form 4 who are taking chemistry, and then the last 4 who are from form 3 taking chemistry, because I'm using 7 for chemistry as specified here, and then 6 for biology. So once I finish entering my students in this worksheet, then I have to save this file. So here see this student template, so I can just give it my own name. Then now once I save it, then I can close, then now come here and then upload. So if I want to upload, I go and select my school, then I select the file, then I click on upload. So see, it will show me here import complete. I added 20 students, so my 20 students have been added for my school. So if you have you want to upload for another school, so you select that. Once you've downloaded this template, you add your students there using the given subjects IDs, add their details and then their form levels. Then you select here, go to upload, then you select your file and upload. So it still show you that you've added for this school, for the given school. So if I go to my dashboard page, so you see I'll be having 40 participants, meaning I've added 20 for the first school and then another 20 for the other school. So you can do that for all the schools, and you'll be able to see the total number of participants that you've added for this given contest. So for these two schools, because each school had 20 participants, so that's why I have 40 participants. If you add it to a school, you can always visit this link or click on this manage schools link on that navigation, top navigation bar. Then it take you to a school, and then you'll be able to see the number of students you've added. So for instance, if you see the two schools, you can always see that for the first school there are 20 registered, and then 20 registered and 20 in contest. Okay, that is if you've already assigned them. So you can always view the students' names once you click on students. So you'll see the number of students there and their names, and then their classes. So the status will only show if they're already in a set or not. Then the actions you'll have is either to delete or remove a student. So the next step now, after adding the participants or uploading the participants details, so I'll go to create sets. So on create sets, so here you can see advanced set management. So for this one, is just an automatic process. So you just have to enter the set composition as a configuration first before you generate the set. So the set will be automatically be generated by the system based on the number of participants and the set composition. So let's start now. Define custom set compositions for each subject to specify how many students from each form level should be included in a set. So let's say your given contest has a specification, like maybe you say you should have from 3 students from Form 4, and then either 6 students from Form 3. So this is what you set here. So the composition will be the composition of a given set. So for instance, this is biology. I can say maybe I want my set should include 6 students from Form 4, and then let's say 4 students from Form 3. So the first thing you set is you select the form or the class. Let me say this is Form 4. Then I specify the number of students that would be for just a single set. So let me say for this biology, I should have 6 students from Form 4. So I'll select 6, then add another form level. So here I can say students from Form 3, and then give the number of students for a single set. So let me say my set should contain 10 participants. Just a single set should contain 10 participants. So I'll select either the specific level now. Let's say this is Form 4, then I give the number of students. Then the same will happen for form 3 as my another level, so I can add more depending on what composition I want. So let me say for form 3 I should have 4 students, so I select the number of students as 4. So form 3 will have 4 students, and form 4 will have 6 students. Then I save this composition, so it will show you set composition saved successfully. So I go to my other subject. You see there is no composition set yet, so that's why it's just telling you it's using default allocation. So if you don't set this composition, it means the system will allocate the students just randomly. There will be no specific criteria that you'll be using to allocate the students. So that's why this is important, because different contests have different specification in terms of the set composition. So for instance, if you talk about biology, it is saying it is using a custom composition which is defined, and the total per set will be 10 students, 6 from form 4 and 4 students from form 3. So let's go ahead and set composition for chemistry. So I say for form 4 I should have the same 6 students, then say okay, let's just say maybe we alter this and say I want to have for form 4 I should have either 3 students, and then for form 3 I have 2 students, and then I save this composition. So you see the total number of students per set will be 5, 3 for form 4 and then 2 for form 3. So I go to chemistry and then I set the same. Let's say for form 4 I will have 3 students, and then say for form 3 I will have 2 students. So then I save this. So you see I'll be having 5 students for each set. So once I've set the composition, the next step is just running the auto set creation tool, or maybe option. So it says this feature will automatically create sets for each school and subject based on registered students and custom composition configurations. So each set will have a unique set ID in the format that is given. So set, then the school initials in a short form, then the subject, and then ID. For example, you can just say set ABC, then let's say this is just the short form of our subject, and then A as a given ID. So then a random examiner code for a login, then there is a student distribution according to your custom composition set. So each set will belong to a specific school, and the students from the given school will be assigned to the sets created for a school. So if you're talking about the custom composition, so this would set the use of the composition rules you defined. For example, here I said we should have 3 students from form 4 and 2 students from form 3 for biology. So that's just the rule that you set. So when you're creating the sets, that will be considered. So it will create the sets based on the rules that you defined. So let's go ahead and run this auto create sets. So this will automatically create the sets. So we run this, and if we scroll, and then we'll see that the sets will be created automatically here. So you see each set contains a maximum of 5 students as we defined here. So now we've created the sets. So because the set had students from 2 different classes, that's why it is mixed. So if you specify like you want only to have for students from just a single class or a specific class, then these will be different. But for this one now, because it has a mixed form levels, that's why you see it's mixed. So then the composition is custom based on the rule that we set here. we said for Form 4 we should have 3 students, for Form 3 we should have 2 students. So for each subject, you see the sets are automatically created. So you can see the sets for each school. So it has created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 sets for each school. So it even creates additional sets, which now can help in case now you have extra participants that you want to add later. Then it will just create the extra sets that will be used to allocate the extra students that can be added later. So you have the options for deleting the sets here or adding students manually. So for this case, we have 2 options. We can choose to add the students manually, or we can use an automatic way to allocate the students. So if you want to add students manually, then you have to click on each set, you have to click on students, and you'll be taken to the page for just adding the students. So for instance, if this is just my first set, the ones that I selected, and I have the, all the students from my school for biology, because this set is basically for a given school, I'll be able to either select the students. I can just filter the students. Either I want to see students who are taking biology for my given sample school, high school 1. So I'll filter that, and it will show me only the students taking biology for this school, so that I can just add this. I will select the students and then I assign them to the given set. So you see, for this given set, I'll be having just 1 student who I would have assigned manually. So if I want to remove, I'll just click on that, and then see the students will appear on the other side as the list. So here you just displaying all the students. If you want, you can see all the students from Form 4, Form 3. So that if you want to allocate them manually, then you'll be selecting a single student or multiple, and then you click on assign selected students. But now we have an automatic way, so you can just go back to sets. So once you allocate all the students, you will be able to download the set data. So the set data will just be containing the set details, only the set details. So if I download this, you will see the set information, like the composition, the set ID, the subject, the school. So for all the sets, will have all the information here, so that you can know which set contains how many students, and students are coming from which classes. Is it from 3? So for this case, you can see the composition details for this given set is that we have 3 Form 4s and 2 Form 3s. So this is per set, then the type, then the subjects for this given set, and then the set ID. So going back to this page for creating sets, so if you want to use the manual, you've seen where you click is this, and then you can add the students manually to a given set. So let's say maybe you have a specific students that you want them to appear to be in just a single set, like you have your own students. So this is just a manual process, so you'll be adding the students manually. So you'll be selecting the students, assuming you know all the students, then you just assign them to the given sets. So for each set that you want to assign students, you just click on that link on each of the listing. But now let's say maybe because this is just a manual process and it may take a lot of time, so we opt for the automatic process. So we go to student allocation page. So this is now a page which now intends automatic allocation of the students. So you just run this, you click on this button, and then it will automatically allocate the students to each of the sets. So all the students that you've added will be allocated to the given sets based on the composition set. So here you can say if you already have existing students or allocation, you can clear that and then you run auto-allocation. So this is a automatic student allocation process. So it says this feature will automatically allocate students to appropriate sets based on the student's school. So students will only be allocated to the sets from their own school. Then student grade level matching the set form level. Okay, that one is not considered in this case because we have a mixture of students from different classes. So students registered subjects. So for instance, because you registered each student to a given subject, they will be allocated to a set which is for the specific subject. So let's say for biology, we'll have a set which contains students taking biology. It will not contain a student taking chemistry and biology altogether. So just a single subject for a single set. So this will allocate students based on the available space. So if you say maybe each set contains 5 participants, so it will just allocate 5 participants to that set, and then it will find another set which has space, then allocate the remaining students there. So let's say we run auto allocation. So just click on run auto allocation. So it says allocation completed, 40 students allocated successfully. So because we already had 40 participants, all of them have been allocated to the sets, and then you'll be able to see the date the way they've been allocated. So if a set is full, you see it in red. If a set is empty, it's green, or it contains less number of students or participants. So all the students are allocated automatically to the created sets. So you can even view and edit the students. For instance, if you want to remove a certain student from a given set, you just click on that given set. Let's say the first set for this school, I want to remove a certain student. I'll go there, and then there's these remove options. So you can remove or add. So once you remove these students, they will appear on this side. And then if you want to add students who have not been allocated, you can add them manually using the same process that we saw earlier. So we go back to student allocation page. So here we can download the data now. You can see each student details and each set details. So if I go to data, download allocation data, here I'll be able to view how the students are allocated and to which sets. So for instance, you can see the information about the first school, then each set and the set ID. So this set ID is what will be used when you are entering the marks, then the examiner code, then the link which I'm going to use, then I will see the total number of participants or students for this set, for instance. Then I'll see the given students' names. So you see, because it had 5 participants, all of them are listed here. So if I go to the next set, again I'll see the participants. So each participant will be shown in this page or in this document as they were allocated. So you'll be able to see or to know which student is allocated to which set. So then now there's a part for which can be used to enter to record marks before either you transfer them to the system. So then you go to the other subject, you'll be able to see the allocation, each student, and then the login details for the set managers. So even if a set is doesn't have participant, you still have space to fill in the details. So then at the end of the document, if there are any students who are unassigned to set, you'll be able to see their names here. But in this case, because all the students were allocated, that's why there are no students listed here. But if there were any students who are not allocated, then you'll be able to see their details here. So that it is easier to track and then be able to register them to a set. So once you are done with allocating students to the given sets, then you can be able to download the data here in a PDF. Or if you want to allocate the students again, you can clear the existing and then run auto-allocation. So it will allocate the students afresh. So after allocating the students, so we'll be able to see like we have total number of schools as 2, the total participants as 40, and then our number of sets as 12. So because we had 6 sets from each school, we have 12 sets in total. So then the next step is after allocating the students, then you have to go to student grading levels. So this is the grading level or the grading criteria that will be used when you are doing the ranking or ranking of the marks. So you enter the minimum mark, maximum mark, the grade point, and then you can either give a description or not. So for instance, if I say I can start from the lowest, maybe say 0, the maximum for that, let's say this is 29, and then I say the grade is E, and the point here is 1. Then I can add this, so I'll be able to see this here. So 0 from 0 to 29, the grade is E and the point is 1. So I can add the second one as from 30 to 39. So after setting the grading levels, we have our grading levels as for example is the one we have here. So the next thing we do is publishing results. So you see, we can't publish result unless all the marks have been submitted. So the next thing we go is checking on the document that we downloaded during a student allocation. Or just using this, use the examiner code and the set ID. So each of these should be assigned to someone. So someone has to log in with using this set ID and the examiner code. Also, if you just prefer to use the information on this PDF document, you'll be able to see, like for example, all the sets have the set ID and the examiner code. So you use these two to enter the marks. So for example, you can just start by submitting the marks. So we have to log into the portal for submitting the marks. So you go to submit results part, then here you enter the set ID and the examiner code. So you just come here and then look for the set ID. For example, let's start from the first set here that we have for sample school 1. So this is biology. So the set ID for this set is 489 and the examiner code is this. So for instance, you can just say set ID is The one we just entered is 489, and then the examiner code. Then we log in. Then we'll be able to see the set students, set data. So this is biology, and the students are 5 in number. So here you'll just be entering the marks, but first, before that, you have to enter the total marks. So like, what was the exam out of? Let's say if it was just out of 70 marks. So then you enter that. Then you enter now the raw marks for each student. So let's say this student in Form 3 is the grade level. So say maybe scored 50. Then the next one they scored 40. The next one 30. The next one 20. Maybe the next one 25. So once you enter all those marks, then you submit. So it will just give you those stats. Then now you log out once you submit all the marks. Then you go now to the next set with the students. Is this set is 490, and then is the code, so 490, and the examiner code is the given. Then you log in, enter the marks. So this is same as biology. So let's say this, it was just out of 70, the same way it's the first set. Then you say this one scored 45, then say 33, say 15, and then maybe say 20. Then we submit. So you've submitted the marks for this set. Now we go to the next set. Depending on whoever who is given this data, so they will be the one who will enter these marks. So we go to the next set. It has no students, so there's no need for use that. But now we going to the next set, which is chemistry. Now for the given school, just enter the code. This is 492, so 492. Then the examiner code is as that. Once we log in, this is chemistry. So let's say chemistry also was out of 70. Then here we give this as 30 random marks. So if you enter a mark which is out of the range that is given as out of 70, then it will show you this error. So you have to ensure you enter the correct mark within the range. Then you submit. So once you submitted, see out 5 out of 5 marked, and you can see the average for that set. So we move on to the next set. I think that is all the marks are submitted. So we can just log in to the, can go back to the contest manager dashboard, and then we see if we've entered all the marks. So because we already have all the marks submitted for these 40 participants, so you see until all these two are equal, like you can see total participants are 40 in number, and the total marks submitted are 40, meaning all the marks for all the participants registered have been submitted. So until we see these two being equal, then we cannot submit unless all these marks have been submitted. So if you go to publish results, then now you see this button now is enabled. We don't have any other notification to show an error. So once all the marks have been submitted, and then the grading levels have been defined as the grading setting that we have here, and you go to results. So you can see like the participating schools are 2, the total participants are 40, the number of sets, and the marks recorded. So even if you're not the one submitting the marks and you are the contest manager, you'll be able to see like how many marks have been submitted as a provision. Like you can just tell like the provisional results, how many have been submitted. So you could be able to tell using this number. So because all the marks have been submitted, now the next step is just to publish results. So how do you know that all the marks have been submitted? By just comparing this total participants, the number, and the total number of marks submitted. So once if they are equal, then you know that all the marks have submitted. So also you can just go to publish results, or just go to results on this tab. Then you'll be able to see the marks recorded. So the number should be just be equal. So once all that is done, then you can, the only thing we have to do now is just to publish the results. So publishing means you just making them be able to be seen, or be able to get the total results analysis. So you click on publish results, then you have to confirm, are you sure you want to publish the results? This will make them visible to all schools and participants. Then you click OK. So then once you click that, then these 3 buttons will appear. So these won't appear unless you publish the results. So here you can see view the published results. So here you'll be able to see the details. So here you can just see the results by categories on this portal. So here you see overall school rankings, either ranking by categories. So here you'll be see the average. You can just select where as appropriate. If you want to see ranking for a particular subject, you just select that, and it will give you all the results. Say if it's just a set, you'll be seeing the set rankings. But now if you want to download the results, either the entire result book or the results worksheet, you can also choose to unpublish the results, so that you don't want them to be seen. Then you can unpublish that, or if there are any changes that need to be made in terms of the marks recorded, then you click on the unpublished results. But if you want to view all the results in just one single PDF, then you can say download results PDF. Yeah, so here are the results. So the first page just shows you the table of contents. So if you want to navigate through, you'll be able to see where to find the school-wise results. So in that case, you can just see the overall school rankings. So the categories, you'll be able to see them. That's just the overall school rankings. Then school rankings by category. So here you'll be seeing the ranking if it's just a national school. All the national schools will be ranked together. If it's an extra county school, all will be ranked together. So then you go next to subject rankings. So for each contest subject, you'll be seeing the rankings. So you start with the school rankings for biology. For instance, if we are talking about our contest here, our sample contest, so we'll be seeing the results for all those. So all those results grouping, and you can talk about now So you can see the set results. Then you can see now the overall for each class. So for instance, from 3 overall student ranking, you can see that one here. Then talk about from 4, the overall. So each subject ranking is just done on its own page. So for instance, we are done with biology. Now the year is chemistry. So you see all the students are ranked there. Then next you can talk about now best boy, best girl in terms of gender. See, if you talk about biology, who performed best, like the best boy. See the rankings there. You talk about chemistry, so talk about the best boy, best girl. Then you can talk about now ranking the students by form. So talk about from 3 students, who was what was the ranking for that subject. Talk about chemistry, what's the ranking. Then from 4 students, the ranking, for chemistry, the same way. So ranking by school. So here you'll be seeing each school, the performance or ranking for each school. So you see the class, the subjects, then you see the ranking for each school. See how each student from each school performed. So that is then you see the best overall for all the subjects. So you see like for all these subjects, who was the best student for each of the 2 subjects, for example, in our sample contest. So another feature we have apart from the results, then it's the certificates. You can also get to generate the certificate for each participant as well as this participating school. So we have as a certificate for each school. Then we have a participant for each of the students who participated or who are registered or whose results were published. So if you click on view results, then you can see the generate certificates. Then you can see certificates for each school listed there. So if you want generate certificate for sample school 1, for example, you just click on in there, and then you'll be able to download the PDF certificates for each of the schools and participants. So for instance, sample high school 1, which is a national school with 20 students, you can view this certificates here. So for instance, that's just the school certificate. It has its own different design. Then once you see the school certificate, then the next one will be the participant certificate. So all the students will have their certificates with their names there, and the contest in which they participated in, the name, and then the host. All of those for all the 20 participants.